Steroids are for guys who want to cheat opponents. This was a quote from Hall of Fame linebacker Lawrence Taylor. Today I will tell you a little bit about performance-enhancing drugs in sports. I will give you a brief history on performance-enhancing drugs, the potential benefits of legalizing them, the countless problems they have caused for sports, and why they should stay banned. This kind of made points that we were going over. First, I'm going to give you a brief history on PEDs in sports. Steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, also known as PEDs, have been a problem in sports since the 1960s. In professional sports, where competition is at its highest, it is easy to understand why PEDs have been an increasing problem. Athletes look to have an edge or an advantage over their competition and often turn to PEDs. It is seen in almost all sports, but primarily baseball, cycling, track and field, boxing, and football. Types of PEDs. Anabolic steroids, synthetic variants of testosterone, which promotes muscle building and helps athletes recover quicker. Human growth hormone, or HGH. Stimulants which boost energy level. Example would be amphetamines such as Adderall. Supplements such as andro helps the body process testosterone. The World Anti-Doping Agency was created in 1999 to monitor and promote the fight against drugs in sports. The World Anti-Doping Code established rules and regulations for all sports and countries. Now I'm going to tell you about the potential benefits of legalizing or regulating PEDs in sports and the sole reason why this should not happen. Legalizing PEDs would show the highest level of athletic ability, but not natural athletic ability. Sports would be at its highest level, games would be more exciting, ticket sales and TV ratings would be higher. The 1998 MLB home run race with Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa was one of the most exciting times of baseball. Would be easier on organizations. It is difficult to enforce steroid policies. Also, organizations would not have to deal with suspensions from players using PEDs. Could make the case that athletes already take serious health risks just from playing their sport and getting on the field, and that health risks from PEDs are no different. PEDs could be safely distributed and monitored. Hall of Fame inductions made easier. But this is all trumped by one simple fact. Allowing PEDs in sports would create an arms race. Sports would be more about having the latest and best PEDs than having the best swing or pitch. Sports would be more about who has the best technology, resources, and medical staff instead of the skill at their sport. Sports would turn into a competition of finding the latest and best drugs. Not to mention, players who choose to avoid PEDs would be forced to take them just to stay at an even playing field. Bioengineers could very possibly become the most important asset to an organization, even more important than the team's franchise player or head coach. All in all, allowing PEDs in sports would do more harm than good. Now I will tell you about the problems with PEDs in sports. PEDs give athletes an unfair advantage. PEDs improve performance, and athletes not taking PEDs are at a disadvantage. This pushes other athletes and even kids to turn to PEDs in order to be the best at their sport. Causes athletes to lie and cheat. Breaking the rules for an unfair advantage is cheating. Athletes who do choose to go against their league's drug policy must lie about it in order to avoid suspensions. Health concerns regarding PED use. Steroids have been linked to liver damage, high blood pressure, heart abnormalities, aggressive aggressive behavior, depression, and the list goes on. PEDs are also difficult to test for. Blood tests and urine tests are used to detect PEDs, with blood tests being much more accurate and much more expensive. Designer steroids are steroids that have been modified to be undetectable from drug tests and make testing very difficult. Steroid-induced stats have made historical records almost meaningless. Recall the 1998 home run race during the steroid era, where Mark McGwire broke Roger Maris's long-standing record with 70 home runs in a single season. Mark McGwire admitted to using steroids a few years later, making the milestone not as impressive or credible. Hall of Fame inductions have been very difficult, with so many players being linked to PED use. Some of the most dominant baseball players may not be inducted to the Hall of Fame due to PEDs, despite having better stats than others. It is very difficult to determine whether these players should be given credit for their accomplishments. PEDs can create inequalities. They can be very expensive and not everyone can afford them. If legalized in the Olympics, poorer countries who are already at a disadvantage from a technology and facility standpoint may even suffer more. Just to conclude all this, performance-enhancing drugs have been a problem for some time now and are damaging sports. Countless problems have been stirred up from PED use, and it's only getting worse. One possible outcome to prevent PED use could be a lifetime ban, even for first-time offenders. This could possibly scare athletes from ever attempting to use PEDs. Either way, PEDs will only get worse if a new system or regulations